Pussy stank.
Oh,
What else he said?
that was
You
so
ain't
bad.
never gonna taste this D again. Who says that? You ain't never gonna taste this D. Like, oh no.
Like Soldiers is just so immaculate that she would be so
Taste this D
distraught
again.
without it.
I don't know how to even react to that. If you wrote from your phone and was like, "You're never going to taste this D."
I think I would just be like,
Okay.
okay, like, like okay.
Hi everyone, you're at NYC Chat Room with Tiffany and Lauren, and today we're reviewing Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition episode 4.
So please like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you thought about the episode. So we're gonna start with, first was Jessica Dime and Sean. The first thing that they made them do basically was the press junket. And first to start, Soulja Boy made breakfast. He did make breakfast and he seemed very happy making the breakfast. See, that's what I'm saying. Soulja Boy, you know,
He's like a child. He's like a child.
He is.
When
He
you ask a
grows on
child
you.
to like mop the floor for the first time, they're like, "This is so
It's
much
exciting.
fun."
He was like making the bacon. He was like making the eggs and dancing.
It was like an adventure for him.
It was, and he liked it. So yeah, Soulja Man, he's grown. He's becoming Soulja Man, Big Draco. I like him.
Don't no grown man
overall.
enjoy no chores.
I like
He's a
him
child.
overall. He is, you know, he says some foul shit, but you know, I think he just needs to grow up. He has a good personality overall.
That's crazy how he's grown on you
He is.
and Drew, you hate him.
Fizz, you're a jerk. I can
Anyway.
see right through your jerkiness. Right. Anyway, so first it was Jessica Dime and her man Sean. They did the press junket, and Jessica Dime handled it very well with her questions about them asking her, you know, if she wanted her child to be a stripper, and you know, she answered no, that was the reason I was a stripper. So she handled the questions very well, and I don't even think they went in on them too bad with their questions. You know, they seem to be a solid couple. So I would be very surprised if they don't eventually make it down the aisle, because they seem to really have an understanding of each other, even though they have, like, you know, every couple has issues. But other than that, I think they're a good solid couple. They work well together. So, you know, I'm rooting for those two. I like them. Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, there wasn't much to report.
Yeah, not from them.
Diamond.
Yeah, and then even with their situation where they were swapped, Sean was with Tammy, right? Sean
Yes,
was-
because he was giving her tips.
Yes.
Oh, she was giving him
She
tips.
was giving him tips on how he should approach, you know, the way he talks to her about her outfits or things like that. He should try and she was saying he should finesse it a little bit, which is true. Women, we don't mind, you know, you saying little things, but it's the way you say it, man. Like, sometimes you gotta put some finesse on it. Like, you can't just come out and say what's on your mind. So
I think that's every gender. Like,
yeah.
If you perform whack sexually, you don't expect a woman to be like, "Oh my God, that was whack."
Mm-hmm.
You want them to be like, "Oh well, let's try this."
Yeah, let's try different things or
So
whatever.
I think that's
Yeah.
universal. People want to feel desired and they want to feel like supported. So I think that's just pretty standard.
Yeah,
across
but
the board.
but there are a lot of jerks out there who like to sit there and say, you know, oh, I just speak my mind. Like, no, that has nothing to do with speaking your mind, being
Right.
a jerk. And I think people need to understand the difference between that, because we have people who are just assholes. So that
Being that
an
level of
asshole.
blunt where you just like, you like a hoe in that dress.
Yeah.
That's childish. Kindergarten stuff like that. And then they
Right.
learn about manners and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So watch Sesame Street and learn how to talk to people.
Right, pretty much. And Jessica was with Carl, Mo's husband.
Oh, it was so forgettable. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
Jessica was with Carl, and you know, they were doing a little thing, and she was saying how, you know, she likes that he is letting her pretty much, you know, take the lead. It was very laid back, and she felt like, you know, if Sean was there, he would be on her as far as telling her what she needs to do and things like that. So, you know, it was a cute little scene where, you know, she just seemed very relaxed in what they were doing. I think they had to do, was it food?
Yeah, they were cooking or something.
Yeah, they were cooking. So yeah, their scene was, you know, it was cute. They were able to, you know, vibe as far as conversation without, you know, anyone feeling domineering in the situation. I think that was both of their issues with their spouses. All right.
Chewy. Okay. Next we have Drew, aka Fizz, and Tiffany. They're like two siblings just poking at each other at this point. As we stated before, this is not a relationship, so for me, there's just very little to even say about
It's good
them.
that they didn't try to make it one, and they're staying far away from each other at this point. Cause been good.
I like the both of them. They seem like decent folks, but this is just boring for them to watch them on TV. For the switch off, as we said, Fizz was with Nia, and Tiffany was with Waka. And
she was cheesy.
She was. Waka Flocka is very gentlemanly, I guess, when he's dealing with women, as most players are.
Exactly.
So he's very into what's the word? Chivalry.
Yeah.
He's very chivalrous.
Yeah.
And he's doing all that, and she was enjoying that. Fizz was with Nia, and they seem like they just get along better. They got a chill vibe. They've definitely had sex with each other.
Definitely.
I don't care what anybody says.
Especially them.
They're friends with benefits, or they smashed on one good late night a couple times. I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying that it's apparent.
Yeah, so they need to stop saying we're just friends. Like, okay, you're just
They're
friends.
They're just friends who had sex before.
Right, you've definitely
done
stuff.
Hung out
so
on a late night or 2 or 3 or 5. So
climbing up that tree.
Yeah. So I feel like when it comes to, at the press release, or what was it? Press conference. The press conference that they had, it was it was brought to his attention that he didn't really post her on social media, and he pretty much said that the only person who gets posted on his main page is his son, because that's permanent. And I'm not mad at that. I don't post people on my social media either, so I feel him on that. He said he put the girl in his stories, and that he has a very clean-cut image, and her being a stripper, she doesn't really fit that image.
That annoyed me when he said that, actually.
I feel like they're both in this space where they're trying to pick at each other to make content for the show, to make controversy, because they really don't have anything invested in one
when you
another.
was with her. Don't try and bring up her profession when you were just fine with her profession when you was dealing with her.
Yeah, that little banter that they're doing where they're like poking at each other, his digs are a little deeper than hers are. They're
an
really
asshole.
He has a little superiority thing over her, but anyway, that's all I have to say about them.
Yeah, and even with the swap, like we said, Tiffany was very happy with, Waka and, the way he was treating her. Fizz was making little stupid comments about the fact that, she was smiling and she doesn't smile with him. And also, she was making little comments too about the fact that he was with Nia. I don't know. I think she knows that they have done stuff, and he just never come out and said it or said anything to her. I think that's something that the two of them are keeping between them, which is their business. They're keeping between them. They don't want it to get out anywhere. So, yeah. So Tiffany was happy with Waka, Nia, and him. They got their own little situation going. They seem to have worked well with what they were doing in the episode. But I still don't like you, Fizz.
I find Waka so irritating. When he made it rain rose petals on her.
He was doing the most.
Irritating. I know he was trying to be funny, but
yeah.
It's
even when she was asking, she was like, "Do you buy Tammy?" He was like, "All the time." Of course you do, you cheating ass nigga. Yeah. You gotta buy her stuff all the time because you sit there and you cheat constantly. So we gonna get to you.
It's the thought that counts. Think about keeping your dick in your pants. Think about that shit.
Right. Keep that in thought. Alright, so next we're going to talk about Lil Mo and Cara.
Can't stop eating.
Lil Mo, I love Lil Mo. I really do. Well, first I'm going to talk about them as a couple, and then I'm going to get to Mo herself. Their situation, they seem to be solid in their relationship. So they had to swap. No, their press junket. Carl was talking about, how you got to keep it calm in the press junkets and things like that. He just don't seem
quick with it.
Yeah, maybe it's the shots to the head, from the boxing, but he don't. Some may rap too tight.
He's not a good talker.
Anyway, So yeah, during the press junket, they were talking about. I think it was it tweets they were talking about.
Yeah.
No, come back for that.
You tweeted, "What's worse, getting caught up or telling/snitching?" Mo replied, "Shouldn't even have to ask. Just be loyal for the record."
That's always been her issue with him being very vocal as far as, the media and how he can't do nothing without his phone, according to her. So that bothers her. But in this age of social media, that's how they keep relevant. Because like we said, we didn't know nothing about Carl before he became Little Mo's husband. Not saying that he's not a man on his own. It's just we didn't know anything about him until that happened.
I felt her on that though because, we've been out and we've seen guys like filming their food.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna cut that out.
Yeah, don't say that.
It's really lame to see a man go around, men in particular, this is my opinion.
Just going so hard. Like
we here,
yeah.
we out here. Here's some candy I'm eating.
Yeah, and their focus on just me and my boys.
Yeah.
Like me and my
it's so lame.
Like you're a
so
man.
When she said that he always is out there turned up like that. That's a lot.
I'm sure, and it's annoying probably because they are in the public eye. So when maybe when they're out together, she just wants a moment. Like she just wants a moment with just the two of them and not him. I guess flossing. I think that's what it is. I think she feels like he just does too much for the fact that maybe he doesn't do as much behind closed doors. I don't know. I'm not talking about him. But I think that's probably what it is. That he don't do as much behind the closed doors as he tries to portray out to everybody. But, she started getting emotional during the dinner of their swap because she's like, oh, how he's her best friend. She said it about every one of her husbands, which, I understand.
I found that to be very clingy when she was like, he's my only friend. That's not healthy.
And you hear that sometimes with some women where, their man is their only friend, but he got friends.
People need to have lives. Like they need to have
outside of each other.
Women need to hang out with other women.
Right.
Men need to hang out with other men. I don't care if it's your sister or cousin. You need other people that you
need an outlet. Your outlet can't be just that person because when you two of you are maybe not on the same page at some moment, that could depress you. So who are you going to talk to about it? Who are you going to speak to it about it? Who are you going to go out, laugh, joke, do any of those things with if this is the only person that you're focused on in your life? That's not a healthy situation to put yourself in every time you're in a relationship because she does it every time.
You need space.
Right.
Like you need time to be you and then come back together and fall in love again.
Right. And their work relationship is still very intertwined. Being in the entertainment industry, they're very much with each other a lot. So she needs to find something else, one of her friends, a girlfriend, a sister, somebody, that is her friend too.
I think it comes from insecurity too, like always trying to be up your partner's ass so that they don't have time to think or do something else. But there's only so far you can keep that charade up because if they're gonna cheat,
exactly,
you can't be around all the time.
If they're gonna do what they want to do, man or woman, they're gonna do it regardless. They're gonna find a way. Trust me, I know.
Give that man some space, Mo. Some friends.
Yeah. So now that we set them together, I just want to say, like I said, I love Lil Mo, but them wigs that she had on, I'm glad now I follow her on Instagram. She's doing her own hair thing because
how does the hair look?
That wig was not her hair is cute. It's short. She has a short haircut. But during the press junket, when I don't know if it was a lace or if it was the cap. Whatever it was, and then she tried to lean over for Tammy to fix it for her.
Being caught.
I just tweet what I.
And then she came back up and it still wasn't fixed. Like, Mo, you don't need that. That's not necessary. You don't need all that stuff. She's very flashy, and it's not necessary because even when they wore the gold, it wasn't flattering to her what she had on. And like I said, I love Lil Mo, but yeah, she definitely wasn't wearing anything that was flattering to her. So, but Carl and Mo, they seem to be okay in their relationship and all of it. Except she did start crying. Like, did we say that already? She started crying?
About the only friend.
Yeah.
She got emotional about that.
So we said that right.
Who else we got? there was Tammy and Waka.
Yeah, Tammy and Walker in the end, Soldier got love.
Okay. So next we have Tammy and Waka. I don't remember anything really eventful happening this episode, but they did a switch off, and Tammy was with Sean. Waka was with Tiffany, as we said, and Tammy just seemed to just kind of be joking about it and giving Sean tips on how to, you know, be softer with his wife or with his fiance, Jessica Dime. So nothing really eventful happened, I feel like, with Tammy and Waka. Waka was being really extra with Tiffany. Tammy seemed like she was joking it off, but she did seem a little uncomfortable with him being paired with another girl, and she was making light of it, but I think she was really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So
because I think she knows who her man's attracted to.
Yeah, and Tiffany is an attractive girl. She did wear form-fitting. I know I said before that she was wearing loose clothes. So I was like wondering if she had already got knocked up, but she's a very beautiful girl. All women on the show are very beautiful.
They are.
Very shapely. Everybody looks good.
The whole Tammy and Waka thing, they're weird. I don't know. They try to.
I don't believe them. I think they put up a front.
Yeah, they do. Because even during a press junket, when the guy was like, "Your whole relationship is based off lies," and Walker was like, boast up like he was gonna fight the little guy.
So how much infidelity can you really put up with?
Hold on, baby, hold on. Hell no, he playing. Hey, bro, don't ever in your life. I don't give a don't talk to her like that. We ain't even finna play them games.
Your entire relationship
Hey,
is infidelity.
listen, my man. I'm about to throw you out the tent. I swear to God.
What are you gonna do, Walker? He wasn't even saying nothing disrespectful.
No, he wasn't.
He was just telling the truth.
It's nice to ride for your wife, but
He didn't say anything.
It
to
wasn't-
your wife.
it was inappropriate.
You were
It
just
was
trying to
displaced.
deflect from the shit that they were all saying about
all that
you.
aggression he should direct it to himself.
Right.
Because she gets asked those questions because of you and
Right.
what you do.
And he was just
You
trying
embarrass
to
her.
right. He was just trying to change the subject, basically. What how people sometimes people do. That's exactly what he was trying to do. He was just trying to take it off of what they were talking about in the moment. And then Tammy, your comeback was not good. You could tell
I
that
could
you
cheat
were
on as long as
flustered.
I want to get
I'm
cheated
thinking,
on.
some of these people don't even have mattresses. Like, girl, what? What are you
What was
talking
your child
about?
like, Tammy? Before
Right.
you met Walker, what was your lifestyle?
Right, talking about
And
people in their mattresses. Like,
It didn't
what-
go over well. She was trying to recreate that Jessica Dime moment. Like,
Yeah.
have something snappy to say. And it
And
just
it
wasn't
didn't work.
hitting
It
because
didn't work because it
his
sounded
dogs will
like
cry.
and that's what it was sounding like. Like they got you in a corner. You didn't know what to do, so you just attacked.
Right.
So yeah, during the press junket, the two of them didn't do well at all. But yeah, like she said, during the swap, Walker was putting 20 on 10. So that's all we could really say about those two. They didn't really learn anything from the situation or the swap, I think, because they tried to make it seem like their relationship was so great. Because she said, yeah, she could borrow him a couple more times so that she could see what a man, like, no, Walker is not the epitome of what a man should be.
No.
He's not.
Is he even home? I know that Tammy's busy now too because she came out with music.
Yeah.
She has different business ventures
Right.
throughout the year. She's building herself up, so they're probably equally busy now. And Walker is not really hot right now, but
Didn't he say he retired from rap or something?
did
Wasn't
he?
that a few years ago?
Oh, we miss you.
Yeah.
I know one Waka Flocka song. What is it? Girl, the way you moving.
Oh yeah, I know that
Got me
one.
in the
And the
drink.
other
That's
one where
it.
it's like, oh no, I can't even. It's
Sorry.
a party, it's a party, it's a party. Hey, it's a party, it's a party,
I know that
it's a
song.
party. That's the only one I know.
And one song I know, his verses are kind of the ones where it's like I take my bathroom break. No.
Yeah, Walker is not a lyricist.
No. By any
Anyway.
means. Bow, bow.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
So that was that between the two of them. And lastly, we have Soulja Boy and Nia. I mean, every week they got an issue, but like she said, there was a moment when Nia had on a black dress and it was just them in the room, and he was like, you look really nice in that dress. I like that dress, babe. And he was like hugging on her and things like that. So that's why
Give her a
sometimes
little booty grab.
Yeah.
What woman doesn't want to start your day?
Right.
When you see
Somebody
a woman in an
telling you you
outfit
look pretty.
and you like, oh, you look good, a little booty rub.
Right, that
That's
makes you feel
uplifting.
good,
Yes.
I'm sure she wanted to go make him breakfast in that moment.
Mhm.
Like, let me go make you some bacon. Like, so,
With the good
that's
jelly.
right. Your favorite. So, yeah, when you have moments like that, and it's like, that is the person that I guess she is holding on to.
Right.
The one who does things like that. And then when they have the asshole who we saw them tweets that he said about her and, you know,
What's his
did they even argue during this episode?
They did about the whole Fizz, and he started.
Yeah.
I think the producers have been trying to take it there with him.
They have.
They paired them up because of this. They asked her in the beginning, the first episode, like, "Oh, do you know Drew?"
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "Oh yeah, I know Drew." So I think this has kind of been something they've been trying to push along.
Right. They've been trying
and
to
they finally
edge him
put
on.
it in his head that because he started saying, "Oh well, the reason why you're saying you can't forgive me is because you hung out with that nigga Fizz and he's talking
he said,
about
he
me."
put something in your ear. Now all of a sudden you can't forgive me, and he was saying that he feels like she wants out of the relationship, and she doesn't know how to just say it.
Mm-hmm.
That was something that he brought up in there, and I don't even think it's the fact that she wanted out of it. I think a lot of us women, when you say crazy things, like he has said some crazy, we don't forget that. So even if we're having the simplest argument with you, all that's going to replay back in our head. And we're going to bring that up. We're going to get mad again all over again.
Especially in her case, since it was very public.
Right.
So it's not even, it's like, now I got to deal with how I feel about it and
the
how
disrespect.
everyone else
Right. Like
keeps bringing it up and like, oh,
you
he
put
said
some
this about
crazy
you.
stuff out about that girl. So yeah, that's what's playing in her head every time you guys have maybe the simplest of
In
arguments.
those cases, for him to be like, oh, I guess either you forgive me or not, forgive me or... Sometimes women, we want you to work for it. We want to feel reassured that you are sorry and that
just say
you're
it.
willing to value us as people and say like, okay,
that you're wishing
whatever
to
you
push
need.
your pride to the side and really sit there and say, you know what, I apologize. I know you're upset because of this. And even if you have to keep saying it, just say it.
Right.
Like, just say it. Like,
He seems like he's too good to like deal with
the arrogance
consequences
of
his
him
actions.
is crazy. Like, man, just say I'm sorry. Just say what you have to say. And, let us in that moment marinate on that. Because
Right.
if we're already upset about all the crazy shit that you done either put us through, that we thought about, and the only thing you can say is, well, you're going to forgive me or you not. Like,
The right thing to say in those cases is, you did something to your woman, he's bringing it up, you talked about it probably for a long period of time. In those moments, the best thing you can say is, I know, I'm so sorry about that,
Right.
and I'm going to work every day to make it up to you.
that's all you have
Yeah.
to say.
Exactly, I'm sorry. Whatever you need, whatever I got to do, you tell me. And you
And
leave
that's
it at
if
that.
you
All you
really
want is
want
the
it.
acknowledgement.
Right.
You don't need to go over the issue because you already done talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need to say, oh, well, when I said that, because you said, no, just
Right.
say, I did that and I'm sorry. And I'm
don't
gonna
say,
do everything
what
I
do you
can
want
to
me
make
to
it up you."
do? Like, don't say that.
Say, I'm here for whatever it is you
Right.
need me to do. Quick and simple. You can write this line down. I'm sorry that I made you feel like that, and I will work every day to make that up to you. Period. If she says more, what she's looking to do is to relieve some of that.
Get it out.
Yeah. So then whenever she does that, just be like, what can I do?
Because in her
I'm
head,
sorry.
she wants to chop you in the throat.
Exactly. So the more you feed into that, like, oh, well, what did reliving the
Yeah.
situation is not going to help. That's not what she's really there for. She's there because it's coming up for her, and you're just there to soothe it back down.
It's a trigger.
To say, I'm
Any
sorry.
argument is a trigger of everything that she's already gone through.
Right.
Nobody's asking you to beg, because that's the first thing a woman is going to say. I'm not begging.
Anyone
Nobody's
who
saying
says that
begging.
is not sincere.
Right.
To me.
You're not wanting to make that work.
I'm not begging you. It's like, well,
Leave me alone then.
Yeah. If anyone who really loves somebody is willing to beg. So if
Right.
anyone who's coming at me, supposedly
Especially
apologetic.
you saying crazy shit.
Yeah.
You the one that did wrong. Man or woman, whoever's fault it is. If you're the one that is the person who did wrong, say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Say and genuinely mean it each time you're saying it. Because we can tell if it's just a, I'm sorry, I'm like, genuinely mean I'm sorry each and every time. Because what you did was fucked up. And
I
just
don't
mean
think
it.
that they need to get back together. I think that he needs to.
Yeah, he's with some
leave
new
her
girl
alone.
now.
Good. And I feel like this
Which
is
I
a
don't think
cycle
is
for
gonna work.
them.
That
when
girl ain't gonna stay
we're
with
gonna
him.
see Nia and Soldier again because
We
this
are.
is a cycle. Until she really gets with someone that sticks,
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna keep getting back with him because I don't think he will get with someone that sticks. I think she
Yeah.
has the capability to do that. He's too immature,
Mm-hmm.
and I just don't think unless he gets him a yes woman that's just
Yeah,
like
this new
whatever
one that
you
he's
want.
with, she's just trying to get her name out there.
She's a very pretty girl.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's not going to work. Not because she's just too beautiful for him. It's just because the shit that he does, I don't think she's going to deal with. Because
so I'm going to say that someone that pretty, with a good head on, I don't know if she has a good head on, but clearly she doesn't, because no one who's that beautiful with a good head on their shoulders is going to date Soulja Boy.
I
Because
don't know.
look at what he's put out there.
It could be strategic, because right now nobody was talking about Soulja Boy before. She wasn't around.
That's what I'm saying, is that it's an opportunistic move, because anyone who's
So
really
she might be
grounded,
smart.
pretty, body snatched, all of that, is going to talk to Soulja Boy just because of him and his beautiful personality.
And she put it in her bio. I see she has Soulja Boy in her bio with hearts. So she's wanting
like
people,
it's a business venture.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Somebody
for
put their
her.
relationship in their bio.
Right. She put his name and then hearts. So we already know what
She
that's
wants
about.
that's her letting people know, like, yep, come to me.
I'm
for
the one. Look at my
Soulja
page.
Boy.
Look at my follow me to see if he shows up on it, which he does under every freaking picture. Soulja Boy, sit your ass down somewhere. Thanks for joining us at NYC Chat Room with Tiffany and Lauren. See you guys next week.
You know what them but me till me teeth like puss and sneaking like rat. Me no want them but me foot and me no want them but me foot and me no done.